Welcome to another edition of the Taylor NewsBreak. I'm Carl Zymak, your host, and today we're going to discuss the Taylor Public School Foundation for Educational Excellence with two prominent members of that group. Tanya Clayton, who is the colorful one today, and Pastor Ryan Bettinger. Pastor, it's good to have you on. We haven't seen each other for a little while. It's always enjoyable to have Ryan somewhere near the studio, because if something goes wrong, he's usually the best person to handle it.
Absolutely.
The Taylor Public School Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit and was established in 1986. It's made up of volunteers from businesses and the community to raise funds above and beyond the school district operating budget. It supports a variety of educational programs throughout the school district, K through 12, to enhance education of the Taylor Public School students. In addition to awarding scholarships, examples of other educational projects of the foundation include the distribution of principal and teacher grants, supporting the Career and Technical Center Robotics program, Quiz Bowl programs, and the school district's fine arts by sponsoring field trips to plays and music events in the Detroit metropolitan area. Over the last decade, and this may be dated, so tell me if it is, the foundation has awarded over $300,000. This includes more than $200,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors and more than $100,000 toward grants and other projects. That was a mouthful. I usually don't say that much. Welcome to the show, folks. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
How and why did you get involved in the foundation? And let's start with our lady here. Tanya, how and why?
Well, as a newer resident to Taylor, I've been in Taylor now about 4.5 years. I was looking for a place to insert my skill set from the corporate world, as well as combine my love for community and education and seniors and veterans. So I was told about the Educational Foundation by one of the executive assistants to the mayor, who sits on the board and actually is our new president this year. And so I came on and joined from that perspective.
Fantastic. Ryan, how about you?
So I have stepped in as the president of the Taylor Ministers Fellowship, where I kind of rally up some of the Taylor pastors for meetings monthly, just gatherings to encourage each other, help lead the National Day of Prayer every May, and the person that I was following up also sat on this board, and so that became something that he wanted to also give up, but we wanted to still participate. And so I stepped in and started serving on the foundation at that point. And we had always had an interest and participation in the Taylor schools. So this was a good fit for us as a church and for me personally, just because we know that the students are the future of society, and if we can invest in them at a young age, then we can have a long impact in their lives.
Obviously, your background helps. Tanya, what about yours? What is your background?
My background is in corporate revenue cycle management, corporate access issues, more so in healthcare. And I have an extensive background in community service in the city of Southfield with their school district and a lot of their youth sports programs.
Okay.
So.
Did you see immediate differences from where you were before in Southfield to Taylor?
Honestly, I didn't see as many differences as I thought I would see.
Okay.
I love that Taylor is thriving and that their school district is so engaging in their students and the needs of their students. So many great programs that Taylor Schools has for their students and meeting their needs. So I would say no.
Now, the two of you have a lot of hefty goals that we're talking about here. How do you meet them? Raising money is not the easiest thing in the world these days. How do you attack this?
I'll let Ryan start.
You want to start, Ryan?
I think that we try to do multiple fundraisers, and we do different ones such as going out to dinner at one of the local restaurants, and they give a percentage of the bill to the foundation, and so that helps here and there a little bit. We have usually a really big fundraiser in the fall. This year it's the Dueling Pianos fundraiser in November, and that raises a good chunk of money for us to be able. The nice thing that we need to share about the foundation is really that all of us that serve on the board are volunteers. There's zero compensation that is happening from any of this. So 100% of what comes in through these fundraisers is being funneled out to help enhance the programming that will lead to educational excellence for our students and their achievement.
Now, I know the Dueling Pianos has been fairly successful for
Yes.
you guys. It's been very popular.
Yes.
These dinners they strike me as new. Is this all Famous Dave's? I heard that you guys were headed for Famous Dave's. Are they all three going to be at Famous Dave's, or are you guys moving
All
them
three
around?
are at Famous Dave's.
Okay,
this
all right,
year,
so you've
yep.
worked out some type of partnership with
Yep,
them? Okay,
yep.
that's fantastic. I know there are other restaurants who do those same type of things where a portion of the check goes to the people. What about I heard Wall of Fame Gala. Tell me a little bit about that.
This is the first year, yes. So this is the first year that we are doing a gala in hopes to increase our revenue so that we can give out more scholarships, more teacher grants to our district. So the Wall of Fame Gala, we're kind of mocking this from the Trenton School Foundation, and we select certain members either of the community or of the school district, all levels, where we will acknowledge the work that they have done or some of the achievements that they have made throughout the school year, and then we place their picture and the award on a particular wall in the high school.
Oh, that sounds.
So
that sounds
we're
really
looking
nice.
forward to that.
It was
That
really
sounds
neat
fantastic.
because I was just got done talking to the district and at their district-wide meeting, and I started off saying really what is the heartbeat behind an event like this, which is that thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
You're the ones that are making the difference in the
Yes.
lives of these students on a day in and day out basis, and
Right.
and what you do matters. And sometimes it's hard to remember that because here they are trying to pour into the students,
Sure.
saying
Sure.
what they're doing matters and trying to invest into their morale and all that stuff. And sometimes when you keep pouring out, it can feel like your tank gets empty.
Yes.
And so we really want to make sure that an event like this is really honoring those that are really investing into the students and making a big difference in them, and we look forward to honoring them in that way.
I know when you combine that type of activity and you put it on, I know I've experienced, and I know you have done the same thing because you've been there too. Their honors assembly in Taylor is quite nice.
Yes.
At the end of each year, it's a new set of kids, and for those in the audience who think that kids are so different today, you really ought to go visit the schools because they're really not that different.
Yes, absolutely.
They might know technology and things a little bit better than we did, certainly better than I did. But that's, and it's unique because when you go down that list of scholarships and the recipients, where the scholarships are coming from is really unique.
Yes.
I know you present a scholarship. I think you presented a scholarship last time.
I did.
The mayor, the sitting mayor presents a scholarship. People like John Pantaleone,
Yes.
Large
Yes.
scholarships. The Dickelman Scholarship is a very large award. Can you guys speak at that and how was that culled together? Was it just a grassroots movement and it started with X amount and it's just constantly grown?
Tanya did a great job with this because she's the chairman for the scholarship committee. She just recently became the chairman after Ken Nelson had served in that role for such a long time and did a lot of good work, and she has done a tremendous, so she's the right person to answer that question.
Thank you. And Ryan is correct. Kenneth Nelson and John Pantalone, who both worked through the school district, started that. They are seasoned members of the foundation, and it was a grassroots effort, really, in them really pulling the alumni, former teachers, principals, and those who have also moved away and come back to Taylor, or are sending their funds back to Taylor to fund these scholarships. It has evolved. This past school year, we gave out more than $40,000 in scholarships to over 30 students, and the donors are those who are tied very closely to the community. One of the newest scholarships that we had this year was the Larry Mayo Scholarship, and he is very well known throughout the Taylor School District, very well loved, and he passed recently this school year, and the principal of the Career Center is his daughter, Principal Carly, and that was our newest scholarship. So it really is a labor of love, those who are tied to the schools and tied to the community.
And it's really cool when you go there. I know from the city's perspective,
Yeah.
When I attend or when the mayor attends or whatever, you pick up on all these small connections, okay, that certainly aren't small for the people involved.
Exactly.
I mean, one of our workers right here, who is behind the control panel right now, Samantha, she got a scholarship through this, okay, and eventually graduated from the University of Michigan. I know Noelle, I think it's Noelle Grimm, okay, who was the daughter of one of our workers for a long time. She plays softball at the University of Michigan Dearborn,
Yes.
okay, now. And Samantha's cousin Savannah got another scholarship.
I know that
She's
name.
and she's playing tennis in college. She worked here. She was a lifeguard at the pool. Those are the kind of that kind of really brings it. It makes it a homey feel when it's like, wow, I know that person or I know that
Well, it's
person.
funny because you mentioned that, because at our church we had somebody come up and just recently start attending. He's probably in his middle 20s, and I saw his name and I'm like, I feel like I've met you before, and sure enough, it was when he was graduating high school. We held an interview, and he got one of the scholarships that we had awarded, and didn't know him between when he got it and when he started attending the church necessarily, and then that was the connection.
Do both of you take part in the interviews?
Yes, we do.
We do. Yeah.
How enlightening are those?
Oh man, it makes it so difficult that you have to select a specific number because all of the students are shining stars, and you just leave there wanting to give each student something. They're just bright students.
Well, and
bright students.
there's always a box of Kleenex close.
Oh, yes.
Because there's no doubt you're hearing what they've endured and what they've
Yes.
gone through in their lives, that it's just inspiring to recognize like what they have overcome in 18 years, 17, 18 years of life. What they've had to overcome and endure is just blows our mind, and it just tears our heart apart. And then it's like, now see them wanting to take next steps to change potentially the family tree, to change the cycle that their family has been on. It is inspiring. Like, it's like one of those things where you go in expecting to bless someone, and you're like walking away feeling blessed and encouraged by it. It's crazy how it works.
And giving anybody that financial push
Yes.
at that point in time is so key, because it's really going to make a significant difference.
Yes.
You know.
And another thing that we've noticed during the interview process is the panel that's there have different experiences. So as the students tell their stories, we're imparting knowledge and helping to give guidance even in that moment. Things that they didn't think about or opportunities that they may not have known about. It's the experience. It's a two-way exchange, and it's very rewarding. Very rewarding.
So do the goals change every year, or do they change every few years, or do they remain the same?
Relatively the same. I mean, our mission is to support first-class systems that will enhance student achievement. And so from that standpoint, the mission always remains the same. Now, from a goal standpoint, those might change from different potential fundraisers that we're doing, and as far as raising awareness in the community for what we do. I mean, but ultimately, we've tried to simplify it to the point that we're trying to help schools, help teachers, help teachers, help students, and then help students, help society. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. It's just that flow, and so we're always evaluating what does it look like for us to do that in every step of that process.
I know looking at the website, at your website yesterday, STAR seemed to be a big part of what's going on. Can you explain that to people who might not know?
Scholarships, technology, the A and the R, arts and reading. So everything that we support has to align with those 4 objectives. So that's how we pretty much make the determination as to what we say yes to and what we have to say no to. It has to align to that STAR objective.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
What's new with the organization?
Oh, lots of new things. As Ryan said, the goal stays the same. How we achieve the goal is what may be tweaked from year to year.
Okay.
This is the first year that we are doing the Wall of Fame Gala. This is the first year that we will be doing a golf outing. So we're really looking at what is successful for some of the other foundations. We have joined the Michigan Education Foundation, so it's a round table of all of the foundations in the state of Michigan. So we find out what are they doing, what are they successful at, and what are their weaknesses as well as ours, so that we can improve on the weaknesses and continue to build on the successes. So that golf outing, we are looking for, it's never too early to say you're interested in doing the golf outing and helping our students. The gala, we're really looking forward to celebrating those that work hard for our students. Those are 2 of the things, the newest things that are happening with the foundation.
It's always about learning best practices,
Yes.
and that's really what we're doing. Like we've met with Livonia Public School, their foundation, Dearborn and their foundation, and here recently we've contracted somebody to kind of teach us even some of their best practices for some of these additional events. And so some of these foundations don't just operate on a volunteer basis. They are compensating their executive director or anything like that. So they're paid to put the time in. And so we're giving them a small portion in order to learn their best practices and figure out what we can do to better what we're doing, because it keeps growing. And like, for example, the scholarships that we've mentioned, all those are pretty much self-contained, that the donor is establishing what they're going to give from year to year, whereas our grants that we do for school grants that pays for different projects that won't come out of the school budget or can't come out of the school budget, but would really enhance the educational environment, that's where we step in. They submit an application, we go through the applications, and we allocate funds towards that need that they have for their classroom. And so all of these things that we're raising money for is helping us to do more of that. We'd like to see that side of things grow while the scholarships continue to grow. We'd like to see the other supplemental grants, because the scholarships are really for graduating seniors.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas we as a foundation want to help in every stage of their development. So that's where we're trying to grow some of those funds as well.
Ever get any grant requests that are like, whoa, where'd that come from?
Yeah. Yes, we do. And they get a nice letter that states, because again, it has to align with the STAR methodology.
But we love that they're submitting them.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's a big.
We at least get to see the direction that they're moving and that they're going in. So
And
we
the
don't want
mindset.
anyone to ever feel like, yes, we might have to say no, but it's not because we're wanting to or it's not a good idea.
Yes.
It's just that for our organization, in our alignment and mission alignment, we want to make sure we're good.
Are there a tremendous amount of things that are right there in front of you on a tick list that you can't afford to do?
I would say that as Pastor Ryan mentioned, more support toward the students in the lower grades. We have the scholarships still needs more because the cost of tuition is gone up, and we're many times not able to give more than $1,000 or $1,500 to a student, which, as you know, does not go very far. So yes, we definitely want to increase the amount that we're able to give, but we also want to be able to support the programs that the teachers are tied to for their students, and there's no money in the school board budget to do that. We are separate from the school board. We are not part of the school board or their budget. So everything that we do or that we are able to give comes from fundraising.
Okay.
So we definitely want to be able to touch more. Right now, we do the annual petting farm for the kindergartners. John Pantalone heads the theater outing for the performing arts students. We are able to support the buses for some of their field trips and different things at Honor Society. We may fund the food for their ceremony each year. But we really want to be able to have enough funds to fund some of the things that are meaningful to their education and to their future.
What type of response do you usually get, like from parents and things like that? Are they really happy to have the foundation around?
When they know about us, what we're trying to do is really raise an awareness, because sometimes they just see the finished product of their kids being able to go on this field trip, but not necessarily knowing where it came from or how it all accomplished. So we're trying to do our part to raise awareness, so that not so that we're patting ourselves on the back, but just to allow them to know, because sometimes when you know that it made a difference in your kid's life, now all of a sudden you're wanting to be a part of that for somebody else. And that's another thing that I would say when you talk about a tick list is like we're trying to recruit more members to be part of the foundation, you know, that can be worker bees type that will help us pull off some of these things, because obviously many hands make light work, and and when you have a pond of people helping, it always is more beneficial.
Well, speaking to just that, how do you get involved? How much do you meet? How much of a time dedication is it? Can you
I'll address the time dedication first, because that's people's number one concern. As Pastor Ryan said, many hands makes the load lighter. We really need people on these committees. So wherever people have a talent, particularly in marketing, in social media, in fundraising, we are open to those ideas. We meet once per month for 10 months out of the year. We meet at the school board in the new office there, and we meet early in the morning, but we are looking to have alternate evening and morning meetings. Every other month, meet in the evening to allow more people to participate. However, if you do not have the time to come and be a part of the foundation board, you can still volunteer on a committee. On a committee to maybe you just want to do a particular project, maybe you just want to do the spring fling. So you have many options to come and participate. And the best way that you can participate is to attend our events and help us in that way.
Do people have to be a Taylor resident or have a kid in school or anything like that?
No. We've got several retired people that are on there, and grandmas and you know, people that are willing to just work and help us spread the cause, spread the word about who we are and what we do, and obviously it's not easy to raise money. You know, I'm a pastor, so I know how much it's difficult when you're just asking for people to give offerings or anything like that to do that. I think the benefit of the foundation is that we can say 100% of what we're bringing in, we're handing out. Like there's no overhead. It is literally all helping students and the needs of the teachers.
Which is a real good plug to put out there and let people know about. When it comes to awareness, you know, I know visiting your website, that's been updated and revised and improved, and who takes responsibility for that? You're smiling, Ryan.
Well, we hired a company to do it, and thankfully we had some connections and were able to get that professionally designed and worked on, and so that has been a huge help, and then raising awareness through social media is going to be kind of the next key for us. We're getting better at it, and always can continue to improve in that area too. And we appreciate the opportunity to even come on here.
I hear you. I hear you. Where do you see the foundation being 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we see that the foundation board is growing and that there are more working board members. We see the ability to support more programs is there, and that we have more corporate sponsorships, that we have more high dollar donations coming in, so that we are able to be more consistent in the programs and support that we are giving.
Ryan, what about in 10 or 20 years?
Yeah, I would say that I would love for there to be such a unique partnership between the Taylor School District and its teachers and its educators and support staff and all of that, and the foundation, to where it's almost seamless. Like,
Yes.
they know they can count on us, and I think in 10 to 20 years you're going to have people that will hopefully be rotating in, you know, because obviously in 10 to 20 years we're all going to be 10 or 20 years older, you
That's
know,
for
and
sure.
so it's going to
Yeah.
need to be
Yeah.
younger people coming in to offer fresh ideas and perspectives, and we need that.
Fantastic. Anything that we've missed here?
I just want to add to what Ryan is saying, is that a succession plan is very important. One of the things that we do as we are interviewing or we're meeting these students is inviting them to come back. Come back and sit on the board. Come back and bring your talents, because we will be aging out, as some of the members now are aging out, and we need to continue that succession planning so that the foundation continues to thrive.
Yeah, and you want that to go as smooth as possible.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
What's on the immediate horizon here when it comes to fundraisers and/or events? We're late summer here. We're doing this at the end of August. What's coming up in September, October, toward the end of the year?
Our first event is the dueling pianos.
Okay.
And that is scheduled in November, but the planning for that, we're now receiving donations, and we're looking for sponsors for the dueling pianos. The planning of the nominations for the Wall of Fame, you will see information on that for our social media and our website. So all of the sponsorships is what we're looking for. The work is going in now for the dueling pianos and the gala.
Yeah, that's on the fundraising side.
Yeah.
On the giving it away side, grant applications
Yes.
for the classrooms
Okay.
start almost as soon as the school year begins,
Okay.
and then goes for give them a month or two to fill out that application once they assess their needs, and we try to do it one in the fall, one in the spring, because
Okay.
sometimes we don't want necessarily a teacher to be coming in from first of the school year and know what they're going to be doing in May of next year
Sure,
necessarily, and know that that's a grant. So we try to provide two avenues by which they can request those funds, and one for the fall, one for the spring.
Now, when you guys talked about your golf tournament, when is the tournament going to be? When is there going to be one this year, or is that next year?
It's this coming school year.
It's
Am I
this
saying
coming
that
school
correctly?
year,
School
which is
year.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be at the end of the school year.
Okay.
At the end of the spring, early
Okay.
summer. So that
Okay.
date has not been etched in stone.
Okay.
But we are looking to get that date out there and allow people to begin to sign up for their foursomes.
Do you know where you're going to play it?
We are looking at the Lakes of
Okay.
Taylor.
Oh, you're looking
We're
at the lakes.
definitely-
Okay.
We're
All right.
definitely
Okay.
looking at the Lakes of Taylor. The board is kind of, you have a competition there, Lakes of Taylor, Meadows, Lakes
Right.
of Taylor. So
Right.
we're really determining that we're probably going to be at the lakes.
It's funny because having that discussion with a plethora of inside golf people here, it's always funny because the lakes is the better of the two courses. Now they're both very unique courses, both by the same designer, okay, which is a very good designer. But the lakes is the competitive course. Now
What you're
Meadows,
saying, it's very challenging.
it is very challenging. Now
But your golf is
Meadows,
fun.
on the other hand, is almost made for outings because tee boxes are close together. So if I'm teeing off on one, you may be teeing off on another, and it's like you can interact and things like that.
Okay.
And that's why, and it's a little shorter. Okay, that's why a lot of our seniors like Meadows. Okay. But they're both, you can't go wrong,
wrong.
and
I
we're
mean-
not the only two courses in the metro area either.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
the fact that we're
Yeah.
even talking about two Taylor courses
Right.
It's a
in
great
this mix
thing.
is a great
It's a great
benefit
thing.
for us.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hey, this has been fantastic. Hopefully we'll get the word out for you guys. What is your Facebook page?
It is Taylor School. Taylor is our actual title.
Is it Taylor School Foundation or?
Yes.
And
Okay.
it probably,
Yes.
if you just type that in, it will probably get
It'll
you there.
probably
It's
get
a
you
long
there.
title because it
It
will say
is.
for
Okay.
educational excellence
Right.
or whatever, but that's us.
Right, right.
And
Taylor Public School Foundation for
Foundation.
Educational Excellence.
There you go.
that's the
There
full
you
There it
go.
is.
title.
That is a mouthful right
Yes,
there.
there it is.
Okay, well, that about ties it up. Thank you very, very much for coming on. This has been very, very informative, I think. Hopefully we get this out. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on our governmental channels on WOW and Comcast. And like you say, Ryan, getting out the word.
Yes. Sure.
Okay?
Yes.
If we touch 2 people, if we touch 50 people, if we touch 500 people, it's all a benefit to what
Absolutely.
you're doing.
Absolutely.
Thanks to Tanya and Pastor Bettinger of the Taylor Public School Foundation for Educational Excellence. I did that really well. For joining us on this edition of Taylor NewsBreak. Been very highly informative. If you're interested in helping out the cause, you can start by going directly to their website at taylorschoolfoundation.org, or you can go to their Facebook page. For Samantha Rickert and Joe Camilleri behind the scenes, 2 Taylor graduates. I'm Carl Zymak. Have a good day, and don't forget to join us on the next Taylor NewsBreak.